Have you ever heard of the legend of the princess's tomb? Every year, people gather to see a ghost wearing a red wedding dress. And today, I'm gonna take all of you internet users to see her.
Hey boss, I forgot that the camera isn't on.
Oh, what an idiot! Production. Where's the actress who's going to play the bride?
I thought it was just a joke. That it was just a very good actress. That was my moment to shine live. And even if it were all real, I couldn't fail my audience. Princess, leave behind your obsessions and marry me. Have you ever heard of the legend of the princess's tomb? It is said to be the resting place of Princess Jiang from an ancient dynasty who had a short-lived life. Every year, on the 7th of July, near the princess's tomb, some people claim to witness a female ghost in a red bridal gown with slits, a low neckline, a veil over her head, and adorned with gemstones. She will be there, haunting the tomb. And if you look beneath the veil, you'll see the face of a corpse with a gruesome smile, blood dripping from her eyes emitting a purple glow. The presenter narrated the story with a mysterious tone, illuminated by a candle and a slight smug smile on his face. The day of this princess's death is also the day when the yin energy is heaviest in her soul. The mysterious presenter wore a red jacket and had a fringe covering his face. The boy stood up, clapping his hands on the table, and exclaimed, "And on the 7th of July this year, I, the elder chief of the beggar clan, will take all internet users to spend the night at the princess's cemetery. I will lead the most professional live broadcast team to witness this historic moment alongside the audience, whether the female ghost is real and if the ancient princess is true or false. Please tune in to my live broadcast tonight and join us. I am the chief elder of the beggar sect. See you soon." A chubby man wearing a cap and glasses finished playing the video with a smile and said, while holding his phone, "Mr. Fang Ning, we've launched the promotional video. Nowadays, a video with over 1 million clicks can already be considered a success." The presenter, Fang Ning, was sitting in an armchair listening, wearing his red jacket, the same one from the video. He stood up and said, "Very well." The young man, looking no more than 19, dressed in youthful clothes, black hair, cap, and a red jacket, a dragon-printed shirt, and loose suspenders. He smiled contentedly, holding the brim of his cap. "As expected from a professional team, Director Wang, today's live broadcast relies on you. Make sure to help me plan it well," he said, touching the shoulder of the young Director Wang while smiling. "Yes, Mr. Fang Ning is very serious," Wang replied, wiping the sweat from his face with a towel due to the pressure. "If business hadn't been so bad lately, I wouldn't have accompanied him to a live show in the desert," Wang thought, annoyed. Around them, a group of workers took turns carrying boxes and organizing the set for the broadcast. "Where did you get this job, boss? We usually don't shoot low-budget short videos like this before," one of them asked, starting a conversation with his co-worker. "Who knows? Don't ask me, but this is really cool." Suddenly, one of Wang's assistants came running and called the director with a worried voice. "The actress said this place is too remote. Something is wrong now. It seems she's going to be late." He whispered to Wang, who looked at him irritated and replied, "She's just acting and she's already on set. Tell her to come quickly. We can't miss this live broadcast." The young man then replied with his arms glued to his sides, Yes, that should..." Wang turned around and addressed everyone. "As planned, we will start filming at 11:30. It's 7:30, still 4 hours to go, so everyone hurry up and get everything ready." The staff continued to set up while Ning observed, holding his chin and smiling as he thought, "This is a professional team. He. It was worth the $1,000 I spent on the production team. As long as we can complete today's live broadcast, we will surely recover the profits. Whether it's true or not, it's all about the atmosphere. I'll play it however I can. The to-do list is not easy." Ning sat in his armchair and took off his cap, saying, "I'll take a break. Wait 5 minutes before the broadcast, and the issue called me." Wang was by his side, smiling friendly as he replied, "No problem. Don't worry. Rest. Are you satisfied with our arrangement?" while the team stressed, saying, "What's happening? Another 10 minutes. Time is running out. Where is the actress?" In the distance, someone could be seen approaching. The director's assistant went to him, saying, "I've been insisting for an hour but couldn't make it." The director had an annoyed and dissatisfied expression on his face and replied, "Even today when she returns, I'll sue her." Wang turned to the assistant, handed the red bridal gown into his hands, placed his hand on his shoulder and said, "It's too late to change that red wedding dress now." The assistant responded surprised, "Me? But—" Before he could protest, the director pushed him away, saying, "Shut up! It's up to you to deal with your mother-in-law. Go, hurry. Take a good look at the script and don't disappoint me. And don't—" Before the assistant went too far, he turned around and saw something. "Wait! Director," he said. There was a female figure dressed in a long gown at the top of a small hill nearby. Crows surrounded her, and a mysterious and dark aura was present. "Look at the slope. It's the actress. It seems she's coming," he said, pointing to the figure. The director and the other staff quickly turned to see. Crow feathers surrounded by a red energy fell onto the scene. "When did she come here? Did she bring her own clothes?" one of the staff members said, open-mouthed, carrying a box. "These clothes look much more expensive than what we prepared," another replied, while smoking. Director Wang hurried and shouted to everyone, "Don't stand still, the actress is on the set ready to film." Fang, the presenter in the red jacket, approached, witnessing all the commotion. "Mr. Fang, it's time," said Director Wang. "Is the live signal on?" Fang inquired about the broadcast. "Yes, you can start implementing the plan." Fang adjusted his cap on his head with the brim turned backward and said with a serious expression, "Very well then. Live, begin." The team lit the lamps facing Fang. All the appropriate lighting was activated for the best possible image quality. "Hello, audience friends," said Fang, greeting the public with a smile and a wave. As he spoke, various comments appeared on the screen, such as, "The presenter is so handsome. Finally it started, and let's look around quickly." Fang dramatically pointed to a tomb that had a red veil thrown over it and said, "This is the princess's tomb. My friends born on the sea must have heard the legend here. In recent years, more and more supernatural events have been recorded worldwide, and here there are over 5,000 reports of sightings of female ghosts." As he narrated, comments continued to appear saying, "I'm a little scared" and "Love never dies," along with very fake ghost information. Fang watched the numbers go up and thought, "Oh, it seems the popularity isn't bad. Maybe this time I can really make a lot of money." The camera framing changed, now capturing Fang from behind and the tomb from a more comprehensive angle. He resumed narrating, "So, let's stop talking nonsense and start exploring now." He approached the tomb and crouched down, supporting one knee on the ground as he continued. "Her soul has lingered here for a long time, and on the 7th of July she would appear, recounting her own sorrows." As he spoke, a team member picked up a stone and prepared to throw it, then threw it at Fang, who pretended to be surprised and genuinely hit. The camera focused on the stone on the ground as Fang gave a thumbs up to the member who had thrown the stone behind the scenes. Fang looked towards the small hill at the female figure and thought, "Approach the actress according to the script and let her enter the scene. Indeed, she's a professional actress. The money was well spent." Amidst all this, the director's assistant emerged urgently calling Wang. "Director, director!" he called anxiously. "What are you doing? Now is the critical moment!" Wang responded irritatedly while looking at his phone, monitoring the numbers with a greedy look. "It's skyrocketing. This time, it's really skyrocketing. The studio's popularity has already exceeded 1 million. It's entering the top 10 chart. The 10% contract income is ours if it continues." He thought, already smiling, imagining himself on a beach with possessions, gifts, and money. However, the assistant insisted, saying, "But—" Wang, on the other hand, ignored him and said angrily to the boy, "Go, get out of here. Don't you want a paycheck? How dare you interrupt me at a time like this?" Wang turned and pushed the boy's chest with one hand while speaking on the radio. "Attention units, it's almost 12 o'clock. Mr. Fang Ning, get ready to approach the actress. The actress hides according to the script." One team member, holding part of the lighting, thought dissatisfied. "As for the various units, there are only 4 or 5 people in total." The assistant didn't give up and protested again, revealing what had been bothering him earlier. "Director, right now." The actress didn't come to get the earphones. Suddenly, a strong, cold wind began to blow, and everyone protected themselves by putting their arms in front of their faces. What kind of weather is this? All of a sudden, they thought. An expression of confusion and terror took over the assistant's face, who pointed to the hill in shock, saying, Director, she disappeared." The director gave the boy a smack on the head and said, "What nonsense! I gave you the script yesterday. Of course, she's hiding now." The director picked up the small radio to speak, while the assistant watched, massaging the bump on his head. "Mr. Fang Ning, the actress is ready. Now. Towards the mountain, let's climb the slope." Ning turned around, placing his hand on his neck and laughing, saying, "The gust of wind that just passed really scared me. I didn't believe in gods and ghosts at first, but now I'm a little scared. Now I even wonder if the ghost of the ancient princess really exists here." As he began to climb the hill, the chat continued with messages. "I'm not feeling excited about this. His life is going to end like this. And he's really going to meet her." The assistant appeared again, calling for the director, this time in desperation. Director, listen to me!" Wang yelled at him, grabbing his attention for intruding. "Isn't it over? Can't you see everyone is busy? If you fart, forget it! Get out of here!" Then, with tears in his eyes and a look of fear, the assistant said, pointing to the lit screen of the open messaging app on his phone, "The actress we contacted earlier called me. She said she fell asleep and didn't come." Wang took a step back and repeated, "She didn't come," confused by everything that was happening. Then, turning very slowly, and with a bead of sweat rolling down his face, he said, "On the slope. Who is that? Who is that?" Ning fell backward, sitting on the ground as soon as the bride appeared in front of him, illuminated by the light from the crew. "Oh my God, this actress is too professional! I didn't even notice her!" He began to tremble and asked, Who are you?" Backstage, Director Wang watched everything in despair, pulling his assistant by the collar and asking, "Didn't the actress we hired show up? Then tell me who is on the slope now?" The assistant was equally frightened and replied, "I don't know. I've been trying to tell you, but..." Until the director heard another voice choked with terror calling him, Director, the feet." It was the cameraman, who had a scared expression on his face. Quickly, they gathered around a notebook. "Hurry! Look at her feet!" they said. Then the director realized and let out a scream, grabbing his assistant. Her feet were not touching the ground. The bride was floating. The chat wondered if it was real or not. Some were scared, others said it was just a trick, and some wanted to record to get views. Meanwhile, the director observed everything in fear, thinking, "Did we really find a ghost? Is the one on the hill really the one they talk about? The princess from the previous dynasty?" The director jumped into his assistant's lap, and the other team member jumped on his back. Everyone was trembling, hugging each other, trying to calm down. This doesn't make sense. How can a ghost be captured by a camera? So, what is she? Some kind of spirit or extraterrestrial? Meanwhile, lying in front of the ghost bride, our protagonist continued his performance, believing that everything was going according to the script. "Who are you? Don't come near! Don't come near," he said, pretending to be deeply scared, raising both hands to protect his face. Is this director really so professional? Look at the quality of the clothes and the platinum white hair. It's wonderful. It seems like we hit the jackpot by hiring this team, he thought, observing the bride. Then he jumped up with one knee on the ground. "Now it's my turn to perform," he thought, and lit a flashlight toward the bride, saying, "I'm not afraid of you. I was born in the sunlight, lived in the spring breeze. A mere ghost can't dare to come near me," he said, smiling, and then turned to the camera, giving a thumbs up and winking at his audience, who reacted in the chat, impressed with his courage. The backstage team couldn't believe what they were seeing. Their eyes almost popped out. "Hey, has he gone crazy?" said the director. The bride stretched her hands forward, and her nails slowly began to grow. The chat noticed and wondered how it had been done. Some said such an atmosphere couldn't be created with effects. Others claimed it was just a perfect effect, a perfect 10. The bride's nails gradually became larger, black with red tips. The director grabbed the radio and said desperately, "Fang Ning, please stop the broadcast immediately and retreat slowly. Come back. It seems we've encountered a ghost." His assistant monitored everything on a tablet and said worriedly, "There was a sudden electromagnetic interference just now. Our signal seems to have been cut. We can't contact him." The other team member was in panic and said, "Director, forget about him. Let's run." Suddenly, a wave of energy hit the entire path down the hill, sweeping everything in front of the bride. Red energy bird feathers flew as the bride floated at the top of the slope, and others present protected themselves by putting their arms in front of their faces. A trail was left, as if something had cut through the ground. The team members knelt and began to plead, "Spare me, spare me, spare me!" Without warning, the bride advanced quickly and grabbed Feng Ning by the throat, squeezing his neck and lifting him into the air. He closed his eyes, trying to fight for air and holding onto the girl's hand. Then, he opened his eyes and saw that her veil had flown off. The bride's face was not deformed or bloody as described in the legend. She was just a girl with a pure and innocent look in her eyes. She seemed to react on instinct, with red eyes and a seal attached to her forehead. Ning looked at her in astonishment and thought, "This is too beautiful." The chat responded in a frenzy, praising how she was too beautiful to be a ghost. The bride began to tighten her grip on our protagonist's neck, who held onto her arm and clenched his teeth, wondering, "What is happening? Why is it so different from the script? Can a girl have such strength? I'm almost out of breath." The bride floated in the air, carrying him, holding him only by the neck with one hand. He continued to think, "What is happening? Does she want to kill me? I can't breathe anymore." The director watched everything below and suddenly exclaimed in despair, "It's over. If this continues, we're all going to die." His assistant trembled in fear behind him and shouted, "Director Wang, think of a solution quickly. I'm still young." Wang turned around and replied, still in despair, "What solution can there be? Look at the ominous wind behind us and the trenches on the ground. Are you denser than the stones on the ground?" Meanwhile, Ning was slowly losing consciousness. His breath left his body, and he felt immersed in a deep sleep. Until an inner light struck him, and he regained strength, opened his eyes, and said irritably, arguing with the ghost bride he thought was an actress, "Damn it! Do you know how important this live broadcast is to me? Can't you give me a normal performance?" The bride was startled by his reaction and let him go. The impact on the ground released energy. Our protagonist coughed, crouching, holding his throat, and trying to catch his breath. "Damn! I was almost strangled. And you call yourselves a professional team? Is this how you behave?" he thought, standing up angrily and ready to confront the actress and the entire team. But then, he remembered that they were still live and took a deep breath, thinking, "No, we're in the middle of a live broadcast. I've worked so hard to plan this transmission, I can't let it fail." Our protagonist wore a bracelet with glowing yellow beads. The bride looked at it as if recognizing some power there. He then said, "I never thought there would be a female ghost haunting this princess's tomb. I won't hide it. I've been single all my life, since I'm going to die anyway. I want to do something I've never thought of before dying." The cameraman was in panic behind him, recording everything. He took something from his jacket pocket and adjusted his hair, saying, "Audience friends, even if I become a ghost under the peony flowers, it's a romantic way to die. Today, I'm going all out." He turned to the camera and gave a thumbs up, then turned back to the bride, knelt down and said, "Princess, please let go of your 1,000-year obsession. Marry me," he said, holding a ring in his hand. The entire team was stunned and in shock. If you enjoyed today's recap and want more manhwa content, subscribe to the channel. We're starting this journey now, and I hope that together we can strengthen this new community. So go ahead and like the video, comment for future parts, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for joining us, and until next time.